so good.
Now, speaking of new journey, how did the pandemic affect your business overall?
My business actually did better.
Let's talk about that.
Wait, say that again for the people in the back. Why did it do better? Come on.
It did better. I mean, unfortunately, I know a lot of businesses were negatively affected, but I happen to be one of the businesses where I was positively affected, mainly because everybody had to do their presentations or just speak in general virtually.
Online, that's right.
People saw themselves, and even more so, their bosses saw them, and they saw that their public speaking skills were not up to par. Some of their staff, they were not comfortable speaking virtually. They may have been okay speaking in person, but virtual can make some people feel a bit more self-conscious. So I had some organizations who reached out to me to train your staff. So we talked about confidence and, the nuts and bolts of public speaking, good presentation, and how to do some things virtually that are a little different from in person. So that's really why my business jumped up.
What's different about speaking virtually that's not the same as speaking in person? Help us here.
Well, for one, you see me, I'm looking directly into the camera.
Correct.
What do a lot of people do? They're looking down at everybody else, and they don't realize that people think you're looking down, and we don't see you looking at us. When we are in person, we don't even have to really think about that. We're looking around the room, we're looking at the audience members, we look in their faces, but it is intimidating for some people to have to look directly into the camera, or just downright weird for some of them because they feel like I'm looking into a black hole. Are they there? Are they really listening to me? So that's why people are looking down at the audience members instead of looking directly at them. So that connection is broken there. So that was a major thing I found. Something that we think is simple, because we're in this world, but it's not second nature to a lot of people to look in the camera.
So here's a tip for those of you out there who don't know how to look in the camera. Position the camera and your picture directly under the camera and look at yourself. If your picture is directly under the camera, then it looks as though you're looking into the camera. So then it's not so weird as just looking around. Now, the problem with that is when you're a presenter, you're supposed to, of my STORY formula, observe the audience. So you have to watch the faces. That's if they leave the cameras uncovered. That's the other stressful thing.
Right, because you don't know if you lost them.
Yeah. So how do you engage? How do you engage people in an online setting? Tell us about that, Roquita.
One easy way that you can engage is something that you can actually do in person. Mention people's names. What do people love to hear most? Our name. That's what we love to hear most. Yeah. So when you can, even when you're giving a long presentation, call people's names out at certain intervals throughout. For one, it's going to make people engage with you. They're going to be like, oh, okay, great. So it doesn't feel like so much of a lecture, but also it puts the other participants on guard that I better pay attention because she might call on me next. So it works well in both situations. There's two benefits there.